So let's talk about a guy named Amos Otis. On the surface, this is his story. But pretty quickly, you realize the real question isn't just who this man is, it's about what he represents. Okay, so picture this. The President of the United States has just been assassinated. They catch the guy basically red-handed. But when he gets to court, his defense, well, it's not insanity. It's not self-defense. He claims he's from the future, and he did it on purpose. Yeah, that's the absolutely wild premise we're diving into. And right out of the gate, you've got this impossible defense. I mean, think about it. Our entire legal system is built on stuff you can prove, right? Evidence, precedent. So how on earth do you prove or disprove time travel? It's a claim that just shatters the very foundation of how we figure out what's true. And that right there is the heart of the whole conflict.
So where does this story come from? It's from a 2021 film, a political sci-fi thriller called, fittingly, Who Is Amos Otis? And yeah, it looks like a courtroom drama, but believe me, the stakes are way, way higher than just guilty or not guilty. This isn't just about one man's fate. His story puts the entire nation's future on the line.
So let's get into it. Who is this Amos Otis guy? Well, according to him, he's a time traveler. He says he came back 40 years from the future. And what he did? He doesn't see it as a crime, not at all. To him, it was a necessary evil, something he had to do to stop America from turning into some kind of dystopian nightmare. And that just sets up the huge question that hangs over the entire story, the thing you have to wrestle with the whole time. Is this guy a savior, a hero who gave up everything to save the future? Or is he just a completely dangerous madman? I mean, just look at the two sides of this coin. If he's telling the truth, he's a patriot who stopped a tyrant, a hero even. But if he's lying, then he's nothing more than a delusional assassin, a terrorist. The whole story is balanced on this incredible razor's edge, where the exact same act is either heroic or monstrous, depending on what you believe. And right around here is when it hits you. This trial, it's not really about Amos Otis at all. It's so much bigger. The movie is incredibly clever because it uses his personal story as a way to put the entire country and everything it believes on trial. The way it does this is with a really powerful storytelling tool called a political allegory. It's basically when a made-up story, like one about a time-traveling assassin, is actually a way to talk about very real things happening in our world. It's a story with another story hidden just underneath the surface. So that courtroom we keep seeing, it's not just a courtroom. You have to think of it more like an arena. It's this symbolic battleground where all the country's deepest divisions, all these clashing ideas, are being fought out live. Every lawyer's argument, every witness testimony, it's all part of this bigger fight. And, a story like this doesn't just come out of nowhere. It turns out the filmmakers were directly inspired by what was happening in the real world. Specifically, the really intense political tensions that ramped up after the 2016 U.S. election. In fact, the writer and director went so far as to say he made the film because he felt like America was heading towards civil war. Just think about that for a second. That incredible sense of urgency, that fear. That's what's powering this entire story. It was born from a very real anxiety about where the country was headed. Okay, so if we peel back the sci-fi layer for a minute, what is this movie really about? What's the true meaning hiding underneath the time travel plot? Well, it's digging into some really big themes. You've got extreme political division right at the forefront. It's using sci-fi to make some sharp points about our society. And of course, there's the trial acting as a metaphor for the whole country. But maybe the biggest thing it does is use all this uncertainty to ask a really chilling question. Can you ever justify doing something extreme? And this right here is what makes the film so challenging and so brilliant. It never gives you a straight answer. It deliberately leaves you wondering if Otis is telling the truth. And you have to ask, why would it do that? Well, it's to force you, the person watching, to look at your own biases. It puts you in the jury box and makes you decide what and who you believe. So, that brings us to the very end. The film has presented its case. It's shown you all the arguments for and against. And then it just stops, and it turns the final decision over to you. Now, it's your turn to be the jury. You see, because the truth is never revealed, the story becomes a kind of mirror. The last question the film asks isn't really what happened with Amos Otis. No, the question is,
What do you see when you look in that mirror? It's a question about us. So after everything, considering your own life, your own views, who do you believe?